YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitch. So yeah, I guess Roshan, we are already live.
Hello. Hello, guys. I'd like to introduce myself. I'm
Roshan,
Roshan
you'll
Singh.
have to unmute on Discord as well.
Okay. Okay. I'll go from the start. Hello, guys. My name is Roshan Singh, and I'm a part of Game Dev Clan 12, and I'm a proud alumnus of Outskin. And today I was invited here to talk about my journey at Outskin and how basically I ended up becoming a game developer. Yeah, so really excited to share that with you guys.
Awesome. Okay, so for those who are here for the very first time, who haven't seen a experienced any kind of event previously at Outscale Discord community, for them, I'll just do a quick walkthrough of how we are gonna execute this event. So we are right now here at Outscale Town Hall, and this is an audio only channel where we'll be speaking and you'll not see any video. But if you guys want to ask any specific question, feel free to go into event chat. That's a text channel where you can drop in your questions. And for those who are listening, who are watching this stream on LinkedIn, YouTube, or Twitch, for you guys, you can simply click on the description, because on description you'll find the link to our Discord server, and then you can hop into Discord community, or you can watch it from the platform that you're currently seeing this on. So, okay, I guess we'll get started. It's already 6:07. And again, thank you so much, Roshan. Thank you so much for taking your time for this. And it's been a pleasure to host you. And I was really, really looking forward for this particular event. And recently uh, we have also kickstarted the Launchpad Clan 2, and the second part of Launchpad has brought in a lot of new passionate learners, people who are enthusiastic about becoming a game developer, or generally just exploring a career in gaming industry. So for them as well, this would be an event that might help them understand how a journey of a game developer looks like. Cool. So without speaking more, I will first just wanna confirm with you guys if you can hear us properly. So if it's audio is fine, please drop a message in event chat. That would help us understand, and then we'll start the whole event.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
hope I'm clear too.
yeah, both of us, me and Roshan. I can see someone typing. Okay, awesome. Audio is fine. Cool. Okay, Roshan. So we'll start with a quick introduction of yours, and just tell everyone like who Roshan is, a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so yeah, so basically I'm based off of Hyderabad, and I have all like growing up, I've always been a very curious kid, like wanting to know how stuff works. I was a kid who would have a screwdriver in his hand, opening stuff up,
Oh,
and yeah, even my computer. So so basically, I was that kind of a kid, and I really love playing games. Like initially, I used to wear glasses also, like
mm,
af- before I got a surgery done. So the very reason that I got glasses was playing video games. I used to have a Game Boy, and the screen was like really small. So I used to go look into that and play, and due to that, like I had to wear glasses. But like I didn't stop playing after that. Obviously, it became even more. I obviously I love playing games, and when I was in 10th grade, like after my 10th grade or got over, we had like 4 months of like break, right? So I was like, okay, let's take this opportunity. I wanted to know like what all I can do. So I started like learning. I wouldn't say exactly learning. I was just going through YouTube and Unity, and I was like getting my hands on with Unity back in 10th grade. And I think Unity was in like Unity 3.5 or 4, something
mm,
like that. But like I don't think I was much or enough back then to like pick it up well enough, right? And after that, obviously, 11th and 12th grade happened. I chose MPC and I went into one of those training kind of colleges where they make you study for like 8, 10, 12 hours a day in
Mm-hmm.
a four-wall room.
Mm-hmm.
And then I joined engineering. I did a computer science engineering, and so like by the time I had reached third year, like even though I was good at coding and all, I was like, none of the companies that are coming or the jobs that they are offering is like really interesting to me. And like I was like, okay, maybe I don't want to do this. And I really stopped paying attention to college, and I started working with my dad. Like my dad has a business, so I was working with him part time back then, and slowly I transitioned. Like after college, I transitioned into full time, and I was working with him. But then there came a point where I started feeling like I'm not very satisfied with what I'm doing. Like yeah, it was very comfortable, it was very nice, and it was my
Mm-hmm.
dad's business, obviously. So it
Okay.
was like really, I used to go and sit on a chair. I used to talk to customers. I used to take money from them directly. So it was a really nice job, but
Okay.
I was not very satisfied with it. So then after that I decided, like, okay, I always wanted to learn game development, let's try to get into it, like it won't hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then I took a course on Udemy. Okay.
Okay.
And it was a 2D Unity course. Yeah. And it was really nice. Like I enjoyed it, but I always felt like there was something missing. Like there
Mm-hmm.
was no guiding hand, or like someone was looking at you to tell you where you're going wrong or where you're going right. Because like now when I go and look back at the code that I'd written doing that tutorials is not so great. It's
Mm-hmm.
like I can understand that now, but back then I couldn't understand, obviously. And
Okay.
one of the like and that's how I happened to come across Outskin. So I was googling like what is one of the best game development courses in India, and I
Mm.
think Satnam ji or I think it was you who had posted an answer on Quora to someone.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's where I got to know about Outskin. and
Oh.
uh, and I had signed up for the next clan, which was apparently starting that very day. So
Mm.
I was lucky enough to like have a proper timing, and then I joined the trial session, and I really liked it. And after which, I think like joining the full stack game development course was one of the best decisions that I have made.
Okay,
It's,
that's good to hear, amazing story, because I wasn't expecting that you'll bring out this perspective where, you even tried out your family business or tried your hands there as well. So what was that all about, specifically, the
so
business at?
it was basically a two-wheeler spare part business. Like
Hmm.
so, but like I would say that I like learned a lot doing that,
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
speaking to strangers and
Yeah,
stuff like that. That was like one of the things that I learned over there. But at the end of the day, even though I'm learning stuff, if I'm not satisfied, then it does not make sense to learn.
true.
Like just keep going over there. So I decided, okay, slowly I transition into this. Slowly I transition into learning game development without skill, and yeah,
Got it.
I would say it was very rewarding. It is very rewarding still.
Okay. So, that was totally about how the whole thing started, and it's good to hear such a story, because if you already tested your hands here and there and tried stuff, then eventually you tried. There's a point of time where you understand, and this is not clicking, and
Yeah.
maybe eventually game
Yes.
development is how you found a way to express yourself, and eventually
Mm.
maybe that's how you found your niche. So yeah, good to hear. So one more thing, that I usually ask all the students or all the learners at Outscale when we interview them someday or the other, is that what resources do you wish you had when you started learning game development? So you've already covered, I guess, some part of it, but then just think that, 2 years back again, now that you know and understand how game development functions, right, and how to learn game development,
Yeah.
what resources would you have wanted back then? So if you got those early, like, maybe you could have learned quicker or something.
Mm. Maybe maybe like see, since I'm from a computer science engineering background, so I
Hmm.
think if our college would have had like a good course on game development, then
Hmm.
maybe I would have started like very long back. Like,
That would have sucked. To be honest, if it was in college, it would have sucked because the system sucks. But yeah, uh,
yeah, that is true also. But like that's what I'm talking about. A good course. Yeah, I don't really like the conventional college approach where you're just like honestly, I passed all my engineering exams just studying for it like in the last 2 days. That's all.
hmm,
That's all the effort I've put because like I didn't feel like it was very rewarding. But when it comes to like how the approach that Outscale had, it was fun.
hmm,
Like I was building a project and I was learning stuff. So it was
yeah,
like, and plus it was like when I was learning new stuff, I
hmm.
could go back and change what I had already done because like ये नया
Oh,
stuff जो है वो भी implement कर सकता हूँ मैं. But in
oh,
college it was never like that. No, like
yeah,
in college when you learn C programming, they give you few programs, print the sum of A and B, and then like it keeps increasing in complexity, but it's never
hmm,
building on your concepts. Like I would
true.
say, okay, I think we'll get to that also, but
Hmm.
yeah, I would say college is like even today I think that college was a fun time. It was a paid
Yep.
vacation,
So true.
not learning much.
Yep, I totally second that because I've done education like a non-tech when I've done a non-tech degree, but again, since the whole system is structured in a way that it has no connection with the industry expectations. Like
Yeah,
what, can you even imagine that you come out of college and you're taught in college what maybe Black Mud Studios actually required from you when you became a game developer? Like people don't even imagine that, right?
yeah,
Like companies have actually stopped imagining that they're going to get good talent out of colleges. Even if they hire from tier 1 colleges of India, they still hire them and train them for 6 months because they know, like, they're not going to teach shit in college.
yeah.
And I'll quote you a very extreme example what happened with me in the first year. So we had this subject called IT. Okay, so IT was a
Okay,
subject, and like since I was on a, doing a non-tech degree, so they were teaching very fundamentals of IT. Okay,
okay,
so they were like as basic as you don't even need to open a book to pass that test. Okay, so the questions in that, I read through that. Okay, one day before the exam I went through that, and next day I went for exam and I gave the whole exam and all. So the result came and I failed. So I talked to my teacher, like, how come, what the fuck happened? Like, how can I fail in this exam? So she said that the questions that were there were on the basis of Windows XP, and you answered them on the basis of Windows 10. So you you failed. And I was like, what the hell do you expect out of student? Like, it's like insane. So I had to give that exam again, and then that's how I passed that.
oh
So
damn. So but
that
Windows
actually,
XP wasn't legacy till then.
yeah, exactly. And but the syllabus didn't update. So then they were
Oh,
like, fuck. And the teachers who were testing, they had that key, right, to check box all the
yeah,
answers.
yeah, yeah,
If
yeah,
that wasn't meeting their criteria, it was technically wrong for them, which was
yep,
not even technically wrong.
yeah,
So that's how fucked up the education system is. And that was the moment which lifted whole faith of mine that this is not gonna work. And
yeah.
I eventually dropped out
Okay,
in few years.
that's a brave decision.
That, like, yeah, maybe. So yeah. Okay, so coming back to your game dev journey. So again, so like, what was your first experience of building a game, and how was it like building your first full-fledged, like, or your first game project that you could actually share with your friends or maybe add it to your portfolio? How was it?
So I think one of the first games I made was a brick breaker game.
Mm-hmm.
So learning that was like really cool. Like I understood like how you can code a game, right? Like when you hit a block, so that block will crack. Then like
Mm-hmm.
if it takes 2-3 times to crack,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. Like implementing such a mechanism was like I would usually be the one playing it, right? So when you're going to implement it, you realize, oh damn, this is so damn interesting. Like it looks very easy to make, but when you think about it, when it comes to that, and the amount of thought you have to put into doing it initially is very rewarding. Like once you achieve it, like it's super satisfying. Like that was one of the games, like one of those games that made initially, like while while I started learning, and
Hmm.
I would say it clicked with me back then only. Like, okay, this is what I want to do.
Cool. So, the gratification that you get after actually building something that's playable. So, was
Yeah.
that actually playable? Like, could you share it with your friends and they could play it?
Yeah, I had a build. I made
Hmm.
like like two of my cousins and one of my
Ah.
friends played. So they're
Hmm.
like, "You made this." I'm like, "Yeah." Like it's really cool that you made it, but it's very plain kind of a game. I'm like, still I made it, dude.
Yeah. What did you do? I made the game. Okay.
So like usually like when you come across people, you show them your game. So they
Hmm.
all like, I'm a game programmer, right? So
Hmm.
you like to use, hey, so you made all of these assets, like the bricks and the ball and the paddle. You made all of that. I'm like, no, I didn't make all of that. There's a separate team for that. I am just responsible for programming. Like that is a fun thing to like add when you're talking to people.
Yeah.
Like they usually end up asking you that question. So
Yeah, you did the all theme color design part and as well,
y-
right? Maybe because people, don't understand like it's tough for a layman to understand what actually is the work of a programmer and, maybe not artists or
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
designers work. But yeah, that's cool. So one more thing is that, what was the biggest challenge faced as a fresher by you in the gaming industry?
Oh, okay. So this goes back to when I first started working.
Hmm.
I would say like initially as I joined Black March Studios, so that
Hmm.
the company already had a semi-developed code base. I would say a lot of quite a lot of things were already implemented. So as a beginner,
Hmm.
uh, you come across people who are already very experienced and they have their own coding styles,
Yeah. Yeah.
and everyone in the team has their own coding style. So first to just get into the team and understand everyone, because it's really important to also understand how others will work while you are
Hmm.
working, so that you can work as a team, work better as a team. So
Hmm.
initially I would say that getting to understand others code, even though it was not a big task, like
Hmm.
um, as a fresher you're not very fluid on the concept, so it is a little challenging. Like you may take longer to figure out a bug that someone else who has written that code has done. Like
Hmm.
if you have written the code, it would be a little bit more difficult for me to understand where the bug is.
Hmm.
That is one of the challenges, and the other challenge, one more challenge that I would like to add to this is that learning how version control works really in a large team. That was
Okay.
the second challenge I faced. Like I knew what Git was, I knew
Hmm.
what all they were doing, but
Hmm.
initially it didn't make sense how a team would collaborate together. Like it's very different just like reading or watching videos about it and then going in that stream and doing it. So yeah, that was one of the challenges, I would say.
Okay. And like if we talk specifically about maybe while you were in your interview process or while you were, still trying to get your first job, how
Yeah.
was that? Like as a fresher when you were entering, like it was, your first, maybe cracking your first interview or maybe sitting on your first interview as a game developer. How was that?
Okay. I was very nervous. But the thing is that I was really nervous about what all the interviewer might ask. Like
Hmm.
we'll ask about my past, and like all of that is fine. But what if he gets too technical and I don't know stuff? But
Hmm.
obviously, this was my worries initially. But after attending a lot of sessions by Malhar,
Hmm.
so a lot was cleared. Like whatever, it depends a lot on how you make your resume. Like if you make your resume legible and everything that you write in your resume, mostly see the more like ever since after that class, ever since that discussion with Malhar, I realized that a resume is like a script. Okay, the interview is gonna follow that no matter what. Like it's like it's like you are giving him or her the script. Like, see, this is the script. You have to ask me questions accordingly. And like it was always like that. Every almost 95% of the interviews I've attended have gone around on my resume only. Like everything about everything I've written, all the design patterns, how I implemented them, or the toolkits I know, all of the stuff were only us. So I think that took away most of my, like, relieved me of most of the nervousness that I had initially. Plus secondary, it was always like I was very hesitant if I should send my resume in or not. Like, am I qualified enough? Like, will my resume look enough for this job? But then I realized, what the hell, it's free to apply on LinkedIn, though it was free to apply. So I just wanted experience as an for like going through an interview. So I thought just went apply now. Like, there's a quick apply now, apply now,
Quick
apply
apply
now,
on
apply.
LinkedIn.
I
Yeah.
applied to like 50 companies and I don't even know the names of those companies. Sometimes I didn't know. And and then I gave a lot of interviews to get through that phase of, like, getting nervous at an interview. Like, I would say pretty much now it's not so tough. Like, now it's more like a conversation. Previously I used to look at it as a test that I'm going to go through. Now it's more like a conversation, like how we are having a conversation right now. That's how pretty much I expect an interview to be.
That's great, because that only happens after you build that confidence, and
Yeah, after you
over
build
time.
your skill set. Yeah.
True. Because if you're not true with your skills and resume, you're gonna always be uh,
Mm.
fucked up to a little level. Because
Mm.
if they ask you that, you'll not have answers to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's great. Okay, so next question, I'm gonna make it a little straightforward and like spot on from Outscale's perspective. So if you have sum it up, the whole 7 month journey, 6 month journey you've had with Outscale, while you're going through the program, and while when you started the program altogether, and eventually when you were learning all those skill set of single player, multiplayer, going through those modules and all, right?
Yeah.
Uh, like, how has Outscale overall contributed to your game development journey?
Hmm. I would say that Outscale is one of, like, before Outscale, I don't think I would have cracked so many interviews. I would have been so confident on my skill set, even though I knew, even if I had the skills, because it's not just the technical skills that we learn, right? There's a lot of non-technical part also, like how you communicate with people. That is one of the most essential things. Also, like, even if you have like the best skill set, if you're not really good at communicating them or showing it to others, then it's probably a waste, unless you're working for yourself. That is another given. And one of the main things that, from the technical aspect also, I would say, is like we had mentor review sessions. That was like the best time to learn, because we our mentor, like, even the videos that we have had from Mayank sir, they were like top notch. Like, I would say, if when compared to a lot of other stuff that I've seen online, the way it went in depth, and also that didn't go boring. Like, when videos are really long and they go very in depth, they tend to get boring. So it wasn't boring also, and it was like quite, like, it was fun to learn. And also, I would like the mentor sessions we had, where we had code reviews, where we would create pull requests and submit it to our mentor, who was Manmeet Singh at that time. Yeah, he was also really helpful. Like, uh, I would know, like, I would have functionality written in my game, but I wouldn't know that, like, it's working, right? For me, it's working, so it's fine. That's what I want at the end of the day. But like, he could point out where I was making mistakes that would reflect later, not now. Also, that would add to bugs and all. That is one part. And plus I got a lot to learn about how the game industry works before even getting into the industry. Like, we
Industry.
used to have daily stand-ups, and like, we're basically where we are accountable for everything we do. I think that's a great system. Even like, unless you're like super self-disciplined, I think Outscale has helped me to wonders.
Okay. So, this thing, we have it across the company as well, internally in the company. And even I remember back when, I used to connect with few students as well. And I am talking back of Clan 3 or Clan 4, I guess. So
Okay.
that was the time where when we used to explain it to students or learners who applied for the full stack program, right? They wanted to understand because it was really something new. It's still new
Yeah.
for people who are hearing about Outskill for the first time. They are like, okay, does something like this exist? Is it true? Like, is it really happening? So we are like, yeah, we have been trying to create a platform where you actually work like a junior developer while you are learning to become a game developer, right?
Yeah.
So that eventually when you break into the industry, you already comfortable in the environment and all. You know what daily startups are. You already understand those things from the start
Yes.
itself.
Yeah.
So that's what our emphasis have been on all this time, to just give you a exposure to that industry practices in advance.
One more thing that I would like to add is
Mhm.
like college gave me a lot of theoretical knowledge, but like what I learned in Outscale helped me like practically do stuff. I think
Hmm.
that's one of the main differences
Hmm.
that I should have added back then, but yeah, comes to
Okay.
mind now. Yeah.
Earlier, so there was one more question that I wanted to ask, but I guess you've covered that in this already. But still, I'll ask if you can sum it up in 2 or 3 lines. So, life before and life after Outscale. How was it
Uh,
before and how is it now?
Life before Outscale. Life before Outscale, I was working, not very satisfied with what I was doing, though I
Hmm.
was still working. But life after Outscale, uh, companies are lining up to offer me. I had a meeting with the CEO, and since I'd already accepted an offer, I told him that, yeah, your opportunity sounds very interesting, and I would like to work with you in the future. and and he's telling me we are ready to counter offer you. If you change your mind, please do let us know. So that is that is the kind of life I have
So
after doing Outscale.
the power you get to say no, right? And the
Yeah.
power that you get multiple offers.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people have never experienced this thing, and it is also very like not so believable for people when we say that it's possible that there is a chance that there will be companies actually lined up and you'll be getting multiple offers. And this started happening from the first clan itself, because I still remember uh, in first clan we only had 3 people. So
Hmm.
one was Vinay, second was I guess Bhavyam, and third was Swapnil. So there was time when, like, I was just joining the company at that time, and
Yeah.
there was time when Vinay already had 3 offers in line, and he had to choose one out of them. And he chose the one with lower CTC, like that was in between, because because like he liked that company more, he liked that offer more. So you get that chance, right? You get that
Yes.
opportunity to be on the upper hand, where you get to decide where you want to work, and that only happens when you build the skill set. Uh, that is actually gonna beat it in the market. So yeah. Okay, so one more thing, this comes straight away from heads of a lot of people, or from the mind of a lot of people who are not really sure about building a career in games, and who are not at all certain that if game development or gaming can really make, like, help you earn bread and butter for your family or yourself even. So the question is like, I'm just going to ask you, like, how do you now feel about game development as a career?
I think, yeah, it proves to me I can earn my bread, butter, and much more in game development. Like, see, the thing is that maybe like if this was like 10 years ago, also it wouldn't have been so promising. But
Hmm.
after the lockdown and everyone shifting to playing games, like
Hmm.
I've seen people I knew who never played games to playing games unending. Like
Yep.
Like even my father, he never used to play mobile games or video games or anything like that, but yeah, he also plays games right now on his phone. And like it's a very promising career. That much I have belief in, because like everything else, not just, let's not just take games, but
Mhm.
everything else is also undergoing gamification. Or even learning, like in Outscal's launch Outscal Learn and Earn is
Mhm.
also, it's basically a gamification of learning also. Like you're basically playing a game, you're earning rewards by
Yeah,
learning. So that is also on, like everything is undergoing this gamification process.
right.
So I think there's a lot of potential, and India is still, I think, a booming market. Like there's a lot of scope for growth here in India,
True.
considering the amount of people and the kind of talent we have here. It's
True. Totally.
it's
So
it's a big industry.
to quote some facts around that, there's like the IT industry of India and globally is growing with like 2 to 3% year on year growth. So
Okay,
versus to gaming industry that is currently growing at pace of 22% year on year.
okay,
So
that's
that is
great.
like what 200x or what? No, uh, at least 20x minimum. Like way more faster growth
Way
that
more
is
faster than normal
that
software.
gaming companies right now having, that gaming industry is right now having, because the spike that we have gotten in the gaming industry after the lockdown has been like on its all-time high, and
Yeah,
a lot of people were inside their homes and maybe watching movies, Netflix and all. Say when they were getting bored, they switched into games, starting playing a lot of games. And I remember during the lockdown, like after every few weeks, maybe there was one game that was going trending across
yeah,
a bunch of people. Like Among Us was one of them, right? I remember
yeah, yeah.
Among Us went like super crazily
Crazy.
famous across the places back then. So yeah, now it's if I just say one thing to everyone who says that क्या game development में scope है. So I just tell them one thing, that Facebook has changed its name to Meta, and companies like Netflix and all are have started building games. They have started acquiring gaming companies and all. So if you don't understand it now, you never will. So then
Be
you
too
probably
late.
never will understand that गेम डेवलपमेंट में स्कोप है. सो
Hmm.
स्कोप तो बहुत है.
Scope तो बहुत,
स्कोप तो बहुत है.
मतलब
So,
जो जो इंडस्ट्री में सीखने इतना सारा है कि इट कैन ओवरवेलम यू काइंड ऑफ समटाइम्स, देन ऑब्वियसली देयर इज ग्रोथ, राइट?
yeah, totally right. So the next question is more about like what advice would you give to someone who wants to uh, get started into game development, or who wants to maybe build his first game or her first game.
So like when I was working in Black Mass, so there were a lot of, I had a few colleagues who like from other departments who wanted to get into
Hmm.
programming.
Hmm.
So obviously I recommend, like when they ask me how do I get started, I'm like, go join out here. That's the simplest solution. It's like an amazing system. You get into it, you
Okay.
work on yourself while you're in Outscale, and yeah, obviously, like anyone can do it as long as you're ready to work for it. You're ready to learn whatever is required. You're ready to build a portfolio for it. Yeah, it's achievable. Like
And is it like playing games?
playing games. Okay, now as a game developer, I can't look at games the same anymore. So
Oh,
that is another problem, I say. But okay. No, it's not like playing games. It's a whole other ball game, man. Like
right.
you're playing the same thing again and again till you make it perfect. So that is also one part. And plus it's fun to look at stuff that you're making come to life.
Right. So, we had this Launchpad scholarship right now going on, right?
Yeah.
100% Launchpad scholarship.
Yeah.
So in that we were generally asking people, right? That why should we select you in the scholarship? Why should we give you an like why do you think that you can become a game developer? People say that because I play a lot of games, so I can become a game developer. And if you compare it with industry, it's like I use Instagram so I can build an Instagram.
Yeah, it's something like that, yes.
I use Instagram, so yeah, I should be selected as a developer in Instagram because I can build Instagram. That's funny. But yeah, for those who still feel that, it's like, is it you can become a game developer because you love playing them? No, that's not gonna happen, because you'll need enough passion to build those games. You'll need enough passion to understand the core mechanics of how those things are done. So if you don't have curiosity on like how that enemy got killed when Mario bounced on its head, and it didn't strike it from the front, you're not gonna make it as a game developer. But yeah, if you are curious enough, you ask like right questions, and you ask a lot of questions, so then maybe yeah, you can totally do it even if you come from a non-tech background. Yeah.
That's true.
So okay. So next question is, Roshan, more about growth in the industry. So again, a lot of time, all of the questions that I have right now curated comes from
Mm.
99% of those questions comes from people's head, like people who have been applying at
Yeah.
outscale, or students, or people who are trying to break into the gaming industry. So the one concern they have is, okay, launch the game development, full stack game development program gives us 100% placement, right? So you'll get us
Mm.
placed in some company. What if we leave that job in 6 to 8 months? Like, are there still jobs in the gaming industry, and how is the future in gaming industry? So, like, if you want to answer that, like, let's say I am a person who has worked in some IT boring company for 2 years, and now I'm bored of doing the same thing day and night.
Mm.
And I want to become a game developer, but I'm curious that can I, like, okay, I get the first job, but then what after that first job? How is the growth trajectory in gaming industry?
Mm. Okay. So initially, like when I had joined Blackmark Studios, I'd gotten a package, all right. But like I didn't think that I would grow there, so I quit and I just got another job. And like I would say, growth wise, I
Hmm.
grew a lot as a programmer. I grew a lot as a team worker. I grew
Hmm.
a lot. I got to understand my own potential also quite a bit. And I would say, like, monetary growth wise also, I got 100% growth in just almost 6 months. So I think there
Oh,
is a lot of scope for growth.
holy
Like
shit.
if it's not about it's about you taking the risk. It's about you wanting that growth also, plus the industry is ready to offer you, because since it's so booming, and like there are a lot less people that are working in the industry right now than that are required. So I would say, as long as you are ready to upskill yourself, you have a lot of certainty for growth in this industry. Like that is given, like, since the demand is obviously lesser. So
Yep. So for those who got just 12% increment on on their job in IT industry, you get 100% here in game development. So on your face. And that's how the growth trajectory in game development is, because you'll find, like, if you pick up a stone, you'll find like 500 people, software developer in the industry right now, who are applying
yeah.
for Wipro, TCS, ITC, and all these companies for service-based jobs. But then, if you compare the same amount of people, if you compare the same thing in the gaming industry, you'll probably not find a lot of game developers in the market. So like Roshan just said, talent crunch, and the jobs are still there.
I'd
So
like to like add one experience that I had. Like, so
hmm.
back in college, Wipro had come to our college for like
Oh,
placements.
campus placements.
So yeah, campus placement. So I had given their initial test, and I had gotten a call for an interview after that. Okay, but what happened was, on that exact same day, I had a final paper. So obviously I couldn't go for the job interview. So I'd
Oh,
written,
is it?
yeah, yeah, I'd
Oh,
written them an email saying that
yeah.
like I just wanted to try also once. So
Hmm.
I'd written them an email saying that, okay, so I have a final exam on this day and I can't come for the job interview. Can you please reschedule it and all? So they didn't respond to it also. Like, for a month they didn't respond to it, and they responded to it saying that next time we have a campus placement drive, we will consider you directly for the second round instead of just the first round. So I was like, okay, please, like, do let me know and all. But like I never heard from them, obviously. But
Hmm.
compared to now, Like when I was applying for as a game developer at multiple places. So there was this one point where one company had already offered me, and I had told the other company that please like quicken the process because I want to make my decision quicker. जल्दी करो, मेरे पास time नहीं है decision लेने के लिए.
Okay.
So the times have changed definitely.
Sitting on
Like
the other side of the table
just
now.
comparing the software industry and
Gaming
the
industry.
gaming industry. Yeah,
True
also
that.
it's a good time to get in right now.
Yep. So again, like moral of the story for everyone in here, like again, like if you still don't think that gaming industry uh, has job opportunities for you, you never will. Like probably you'll be too old. Someday, smoking a hookah. Someday when you are in your late 50s and just thinking, यार, outscale का course कर लिया होता तो शायद फायदा हो जाता. Okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
Regret में तो जीने का मतलब नहीं है, इसलिए मैं आउटस्किल ज्वाइन कर लिया देखो.
Right. तो यार आउटस्किल नहीं भी ज्वाइन करना है यार, still we have a lot of free courses, free resources going
Yeah,
on. You just quoted
definitely.
Learn and Earn earlier, right? So
Yep.
did you get time to go through the Web3 courses and all in Learn and Earn?
No, not really.
Okay.
I know about the concept, that's it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's again something that we try to do, because free to learn was one thing, but then to just gamify it a little and incentivize learning.
Sorry, what? Oh wait, I'm stuck with my internet. Hello. Am I
Actually
audible?
want you to learn those technologies, right? And
Oh, sorry, Piyush. Yeah, you cut in between. I think my internet was not.
okay, I guess my internet just fluctuated. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, we'll just confirm it with everyone else in the chat as well. Guys, can you hear us? Check. If you can drop, quick ping on even chat, and uh, the even chat looks so dead today. There are like bunch of people listening to us. Why don't you
Yeah.
guys have questions? Okay, I can see a few questions here. Guys, please feel free to ask your questions, because if you let me ask all the questions, like I have a big list for that. So, and we'll keep on continuing the conversation. So whatever is in your head, if you're right now you've just joined Launchpad program, feel free to ask whatever you want to ask. If you're currently going through full stack game development program, feel free to ask whatever you want to ask. And even if you have, if you're still figuring out if game development is your thing or not, still ask questions related to that, because Roshan is here and we have blocked out his time today, so let's fully utilize it. Let's capitalize on it today.
I hope
Yep.
you guys ask questions. I think only one. There's just one question from outer space.
Outer space, again, someone in Launchpad, and he wants to ask like how to manage time. How do you manage time?
You have to steal time if you don't have to. Chori
Sorry,
karna
what?
padega. Yeah, am I audible? I was
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
you have to steal time. Like even if you don't have time, you have to make time. Like you have to set your priorities. Like yeah,
Priorities.
it is very important. Yeah, I agree. It's very important to have fun. It's very important to work also. But if you're taking this decision, then you have to make sure that you have to chalk out like 1 to 2 hours every day to just to contribute. Like I would say 2 hours is nothing. It gets over like this. You don't even get to know when 2 hours get over. Like it's been almost been an hour since we've been talking and time has just flown by. So you have to like you have to remove time. You have to somehow piece out half an hour, maybe even half an hour 4 times a day. But it has to be consistent. Like I was just reading this book recently called Pragmatic Programmer, and he mentioned a very important thing, which is called Kaizen. It's a Japanese word in which you have to do something consistently every day to become better at it. It's not like you today I will do all of it and I will become good at it because I have a lot of time. If it's a Saturday, Sunday, don't get scared so much just because you're free. Just spend 1 to 2 hours every day, regardless of if it's a Monday or a Friday. just consistent effort that will get you where you want. How to manage time? Now coming to that, you have to. I have no clue how, but you have to, because it depends on your schedule.
Okay. So, another thing that you just mentioned was prioritization. So
Yeah.
this is something that even, we at Outscale follow very, very like religiously. And like prioritization is the kingpin to solve all your time management problems. If you are, if there are 10 things on your plate to do today, and if you are not prioritizing it, so you're going to eventually fuck up your time schedule. And maybe, there is going to you are going to be you're going to end on a situation where you'll end up missing a lot of things that were on high priority maybe. So the key to time management is simply prioritization. Just prioritize your day, prioritize things that you're going to do across the day. That is, one very, very common tip that probably I give to anyone who's struggling with time management or problems like those. Yeah, you were saying something, Roshan.
No, no, I was just listening to you.
Okay. And quoting another book that I recently read, like you were saying, right? Consistent efforts on daily basis. So there was this analogy example that they quoted, like imagine two planes that are ready to take off. They are standing on the runway, right? On
Yeah.
in a place in a state. Let's say in Delhi, New Delhi. Okay, they are flying from New Delhi. So both of them are straight pointed towards south. Okay, and you just change direction of one plane by 1 degree. Okay, the
Yeah.
one plane remains same, and one plane you change it by 1 degree.
One.
If they fly for consistent 3 hours, continuously 3 hours, and they land after 3 hours, the locations where they're going to land would be totally two different locations, right? They'll never be able to land in the same place. And this is just example of, even if you change your habits or your daily routine by 1%, 3 months down the lane, 3 weeks down the lane, or maybe a year down the lane, you're gonna become a totally different person. It's easier said
Definitely.
than done, but yeah, like it's true. So yeah.
This is what you will eventually come out to be like, even if you deny it or anything. Like you say,
True.
no, 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 it's not like this. Still, after a year, if you keep doing consistent efforts versus you not doing consistent efforts, you will see the results yourself.
Yep, yep. Okay. Cool. So that was an amazing session, Roshan. And I just have last one question, and don't see a lot of questions in the chat as well. But yeah, being respectful for your time commitment as well. This is the last question that I'm going to ask. And if you say, if Launchpad just recently launched, we
Yeah.
started the new Launchpad cohort just recently. Like, if you back then, when you were joining the program, or when you were applying for game development, or
Yeah.
you were taking that Udemy course, if Launchpad existed at that time, would you have taken that or not?
I would definitely have taken that. Like I would, like I signed the ISA, so every month जब पैसे कटते हैं तो लॉन्च पैड देख के याद आता है काश लॉन्च पैड तब होता.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not even, no one will say no to this if they want to be a game developer.
Okay. And any thoughts on how Launchpad can actually help people who are looking to explore game dev as a career?
I think there are like two, not two, but like them multiple different kinds of people. But there are two categories, I would say. One
Hmm.
who likes stuff which is free, and one who likes stuff which you have to pay for.
Hmm.
So if you're the kind of person who likes like there are few things where which if you get free you don't really value it, and then there are people who really value stuff that they get for free,
True.
and it can be a great thing for people who want to learn
Hmm.
game development,
Hmm.
but like they are not ready to take the risk of like breaking out some money for it. I think
Maybe
if,
don't have resources to do that.
yeah, that yes, that also definitely.
Hmm.
And Yeah, I think that would be a great, man. Like if we can help someone grow, then it's great.
Yep. That's what we've been trying. And another thing is that, full stack game development ends up becoming a big 7 month commitment. And
Yep,
if you are not really with that mindset, if you're not coming with that mindset, you'll not be able to stay around for 7 months. So
yeah.
that's why it becomes important for you to, firstly go with the shorter module, shorter course, shorter program. That will
Okay,
just give you the same taste of how a full stack game development program is going to be.
okay.
So, yep, I guess that was a great session, Roshan. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much again for joining
Thank
and
you.
taking out this time.
Thank
It
you so
means a
much for
lot.
inviting me.
Yep, it means a lot, and it means a lot for the community as well. Because
Yeah,
now you are in the
same
stage where
here.
you're giving back to the community, and
I'm happy about.
this is totally lovable. So, on last note, any last thing that you want to say to everyone who's passionate about games or just exploring? Some last words.
Mm, if you face a problem, don't give up. Get back up and keep going.
Yep, totally. Awesome. Cool. Again, thanks, Roshan. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
joining.
thank you. Bye
And
bye.
thank you everyone who's here and who stuck around for us for all this 1 hour. And if you're still listening, thank you so much for staying here. And hope to see you in the next event that we have. We regularly organize events like these, and we have a great event coming up in 2 days. That is 14th of April. So if you are watching this on LinkedIn, Twitch, or some other platform like YouTube, find the link to our Discord community in the description and quickly join inside our Discord community because you'll get first-hand experience of such kind of events. And there are a lot more events that we don't stream live. You also get access to those, and anyhow you get access to the community of around 6,500 people. We also hit 6,500 today on Discord,
Wow,
so
great.
that's another big achievement for today. So yep, you get to meet those game developers, designers, artists, mentors, and experts, and people who have been in the industry for decades or so. And yeah, that's all. So again, thank you so much, Roshan. Thank you for joining, and thank
Thank
you
you. Thank
everyone
you.
who's been here. It was great session. Bye bye.
Bye bye.